It's December 1st, World AIDS Day, and here's what we're buzzing about at NewsBeast. Egypt elections. Islamist parties have won 65% of the seats in parliament, it appears. That's a big deal, and it could be the next shoe dropping in the Arab Spring. But first, our cheat picks. Tina, what you got?
Well, I have picked the fact that Herman Cain isn't deciding whether to drop out of the race till he's talked to his wife. He's answered lots of questions about what he plans to say. I actually want to know what Gloria Cain plans to say to him. And I think it is not surprising that they haven't, quote, met and talked yet, because I think she has said to him, just don't put your cheating face anywhere near my door until you have something better to say. And I think the reason that she was so invisible on the campaign all along, she's been saying to him, Herman, be careful what you wish for, because, you know, have you... we know the story here, Herman. Don't ask me to come out there and stand by your side as a smiling wife. I ain't going to do that, Herman, because I know the truth.
Yeah, let me tell you about a guy named Icarus.
You know, really, it's unbelievable, the hubris of this.
The detail I love now is that he has a guy with a lie detector test. That's his character witness, is a guy who runs lie detector tests. This
Absolutely.
Is a new low.
I really think it kind of makes Gloria Cain look pretty heroic, that whatever terms she's come to with her husband in the privacy of their home, fine, but he decided to run for president. As you say, she was like, get out, do whatever you want to do, but I am not coming with you.
Who says she's come to terms with it? I don't think that Ginger White, you know, was part of her kind of
Do you think she knew?
Repertoire. No, I suspect she probably knew that that Herman, you know, is
was
incorrigible.
A dog. Yeah.
But it's just when you come face to face with that woman going, you know, it was exciting, you know, he brought excitement into my life. You know, she must have just wanted to just throw up.
Casual for 13 years. Yeah, there's 2 phrases that don't usually go together. Rebecca, what's your cheat of the day?
I come with shocking news of another politician who was messing around. This one, Bill Richardson. I didn't even know that Bill Richardson was still on the scene. He barely is still on the scene. I'm not sure anybody cares anymore, but apparently Bill Richardson, or allegedly Bill Richardson, was monkeying around with his campaign finances, including one case where allegedly he paid a pretty significant sum of money to a woman who was threatening to sue him in the wake of an affair that they had. I wonder at what point if we just call this politics. I mean, this is, do any politicians not act this way? Yes. I just don't, I mean, I think very few, John. I know that you hold politicians to a high standard. I think that's good, but I think the reality here is that these men are all dogs. Politics itself just draws these losers.
But you know what, it's really all about the style in which it's done. I mean, quiet infidelities with your campaign manager's wife or whatever. that is a wholly different issue to all this insane, you know, Viagra-driven, you know, sporadic madness that goes on with these guys who are just so undisciplined about where they put it around.
Well, we've talked about this before, but I'm hoping that this heralds a new era of women in politics, because if men just keep destroying their careers because they can't keep it in their pants.
And yet, watch out, when we have the first female sex scandal, that's going to blow the country and the culture's mind.
We did have the first female sex scandal, Nikki Haley.
But we didn't, because we refused to deal with it. We assumed she was innocent because she was a woman, rather than looking at the evidence and saying she's a politician.
She was innocent at all. I just think that women conduct their sex scandals much more effectively than men do.
I just watch out when that other shoe drops. My cheat, this story has got it all. There's a former sheriff in Arapahoe County, Colorado, named Patrick J. Sullivan, who this morning is waking up at a prison named after himself, the Patrick J. Sullivan Detention Facility.
It's incredible.
But wait, it gets better. He's served on a meth task force. Serious issue, law enforcement officials getting brought in, and wouldn't you know it, he's being held for selling meth. But wait, it gets better. In exchange for gay sex. Now, come on.
I mean,
this story has got
Breaking
everything.
Bad with a whole new plot dimension. It's unbelievable. It just seems to me that sort of men are blowing themselves up all over the place.
Now, let's not just blame men for this. Let's blame Patrick J. Sullivan for his own idiocy.
But it's just incredible, and the wonderful nemesis, and the hubris and nemesis together. It's really fantastic. There is a good Lord above.
It is tightly plotted. All right, let's talk the Obsessional Egypt. The election results are starting to come in. They're not complete, but it appears that Islamist parties have won 65% of the seats in Egypt's parliament. Now, this was sort of the nightmare scenario, because all of a sudden it means that the hope of the Arab Spring, that new birth of freedom, there's another shoe to drop. And what we're looking at here is that Islamists could be drawing up the next constitution, appointing a prime minister, and there's no way that can be good for women's rights and other things. So, Tina, what are your thoughts on
Well,
this?
it's an absolute disaster, really, because actually women did better under Mubarak than this.
Possibly,
Oh,
yeah.
much better.
Much
yes.
better. And now we have actually women running right now for Parliament. I know that they are, those women who are actually trying to get into the system are absolutely, worried as hell about what is going on now there. Because, this is a very, very, very repressive and right-wing group. I mean, they restrict the sale of alcohol. They're trying to they want to provide separate curriculums for boys and girls, which we know what that means. It's going to be, a tremendously Quran-orientated curriculum, which is a disaster. Censoring the content of arts and entertainment is all a disaster. It's also sort of sad because at last it looks like, poorly organized liberals, in a sense. Just, they were idealistic and they had the right thoughts, but if they can't get themselves organized, they're going to be beaten again by the kind of repressive right-wingers.
It also shows, if you have a society that's been starved of civic institutions, of a civil society, that if all of a sudden the opportunity of democracy comes, it can't just be imposed. Bad things happen. These things actually, we know now, need to come into certain order.
Well, we've seen this happen before with Palestinians in the West Bank. I mean, this is the risk. We have all this lofty talk about bringing democracy to the Middle East, going back to the Bush administration and even earlier, but this is a serious risk, and we see it happen, and it's the dark underbelly of this.
Final word, Tina.
Up. The Daily Beast has had its best traffic month ever. 10.7 million unique visitors.
Huge.
Just the Beast is on a roll. We're on fire. We're thrilled, and congratulations to the entire Daily Beast.
It's awesome.
Brilliant beasties.
Rebecca, final word.
I'm going to choose my final word based on that news rather than this news, because that news is much happier. So I'm going to go with roar as my final word.
Nice.
Roar.
Very good.
All right, I'm going to bring it back down to ground with Islamist. That's what we're looking at. We'll see you tomorrow at NewsBeast.
At least Islamist isn't the word for the Daily Beast story.
Salafist is the answer.